welcome back to another episode of Eric's Camping Adventures. We're going to go on another search today looking for some beautiful places. I am headed across the plains of southwest Missouri, headed to the east, and I'm going to encounter some hills here pretty soon as these plains give way to some rolling hills and some rock bluffs, and that means there's some drainages. And I am headed to Stockton Lake today. In my last video, I told you I was headed to Bushwhacker Lake, but it is Labor Day weekend, and I'm headed where there's a reservation. My reservations are at the Army Corps Campground, Cedar Ridge. Stockton Lake is an Army Corps of Engineers lake that was dammed up in 1969. According to Wikipedia, Stockton Lake has 298 miles of shoreline and is 39 square miles of surface area, has 3 marinas and 10 public use areas, and the shoreline is all controlled by the Army Corps of Engineers. There is a state park along the shores of Stockton Lake. It's called Stockton Lake State Park. And there are many other camping opportunities from the state of Missouri in the area as well, some of which I simply cannot pronounce the names of the state park. But there is a nice hiking trail along the Stockton Lake. It follows the shore of the lake about 15 miles from Hawker Point to the Orlean Trails campground. It is a multi-use trail for equestrian, hikers, and mountain biking, but there's no motorized vehicles allowed on the trail. Well, this is it. This is the Cedar Ridge Recreation Area. It doesn't disappoint with more rolling hills, lots of trees, lots of shade. It's beautiful. I am at the Stockton Lake Army Corps of Engineer campground, Cedar Ridge, and it is a beautiful place. There are some bugs here, but my thermocell actually seems to be managing those at the moment. And a little DEET on and a little thermocell, and I think I'm ready to get set up. I'm going to clear out some of these little tree sprigs. I don't want any holes in my new Cosmito tent. I really like this tent. It's an easy setup. It has, 6 stakes. It has an open screen to the open air. If you have good weather, you can just set this thing up and sleep open to the air. It's very spacious, at least to me. I'm 5'6", so has plenty of space in it for me. And I put my cot in it. I put my bag in it with my clothes and books and whatever else I want for the night, and I am set up. This little cot that I have here is nothing more than a Walmart cot. I don't even know how to pronounce the brand on it, but I got the idea from my brother Brian, and it works. It fits right in here. I use it in other applications as well, but it works pretty nice in here just to keep you off the ground, give you a comfortable sleep surface. I'm just setting up my Teton 40-degree sleeping bag, and we're gonna get some dinner. That tire swing is one more step to get inside the Jeep, but it sure is worth it. I don't have to adjust the weight of the tire dragging down on the tailgate. So easy to open and close my tailgate without some problem. So it's worth the extra step. Packing in this Jeep, it just happens to work out really nice that I bought those Bauer boxes and have these little cheap camp stoves around. Everything fits in the back of the Jeep and pretty easy to get out, get to, and set up my cooking. Tonight's dinner is going to be some pierogies, browned in cast iron, and some sausage links that are actually pre-cooked, that I'm just going to brown them in the pan. Michelle insisted on pre-cooked sausages so that I do not poison myself in the campground and end up sick and then unable to get home because I can't hold anything down or anything in one way or the other. And yeah, we're gonna have a little chips and dip with this too, just to hold the cook over till we get to dinner. It's a little overcast, but cool. I don't much care about the overcast compared to the cooler weather. This feels really good to just be out in the air, not have to think about where's the closest air conditioning and how soon can I get into it. So I'm pretty happy. But when I launch the drone later, the videos of the lake will not be in as good of resolution without the light, so be a little grainy. Michelle packed my Bauer boxes for me, and she definitely overpacked me. But you just never know what's going to come up when you're camping. You have no idea if you're going to have a downpour, a windstorm, and if you can get to something quick in your food supply. That's what this is about. And I can get to about anything in here. I think this Gas One stove has traveled with us as a family ever since the teardrop trailer experiment. It has been everywhere and it has lasted. It still works just fine. That was in 2014. Michelle even stuck a chunk of butter in with my pierogies. I'm all set. I turned in pretty early. I did some reading by my little tent lights and then went to sleep. But I also got up pretty early and made my coffee. I have never seen anything quite like this fog coming off the water. Obviously, it had something to do with warm water and cold air, but it was beautiful. This was a great trip to southwest Missouri. I plan to explore some other places in this area and also in southeast Kansas. It's just a quick trip from Tulsa, and easy to access and pretty country. Hey, thanks for coming along. Come back next time.